I need to clarify something that's important for everybody to understand. First of all, just because a person is old, that does not mean it's time for them to die. Age is just a number. If they're healthy, that's fine. If they've got a terminal illness, well, you treat them. You don't just let them go. You don't just kill them. You don't just dispose of them because that's the easiest thing to do so that the governments can save money. That's not the way it should be. My mother, Marie Dupois, went into the Gold Coast Hospital on the 3rd of September for a virus. It was a gastrovirus. Within about 3 weeks, she was getting rehab and ready to leave. Then all of a sudden, my brother noticed what was happening to her. She wasn't well, not ready to go home, unfortunately. Then we find out the so-called mistreating doctor had taken away her vital medications, blood pressure, dementia, and heart tablets, which she has been on for years. His whole intention was not to treat, but to terminate. When we spoke to him, that's exactly what he said. He said if she dies and she doesn't need any medication, just let her do her own thing, then I will not resuscitate. This person should not be in any hospitals. He should not be near any patients. But I guess that's why he was hired in the first place, to terminate the elderly. Do you realize that this is happening everywhere? This is literally global. Look, I must admit, I was not aware of the extent of it until it happened to us, until our mother died. You also need to understand one thing. My mother was not dying. She did not have a terminal illness. They stopped her medication. They were mistreating her. They were not looking after her. They did not administer duty of care because she's old. How disgusting is that? I lost my father 9 years ago. Very similar situation. He was on the mend. I see him 7 hours beforehand. Next minute we get a call, your father's dead, and we didn't resuscitate. This situation here now, our mum was fine. I stayed with her for 2 weeks. She was improving. Then they told me to get out of the hospital. They made up some garbage, and this is not the first time this happens. They do these to a lot of people. I have been doing my research. This is a repetitive situation. They have the elderly, they get rid of them, and I was just told today that for each patient that dies in a hospital, do you realize that the hospital get $10,000 for that patient? I was just literally told about an hour ago. How horrible is that? I'd like to know what the hell is going on in this country. What is going on globally? We're killing innocent people for money. What is going on? How can certain people sit back, administer drugs, lethal drugs that kill innocent people and not have any form of remorse? No conscience whatsoever. Well, what happened to my poor dearest mother for the last at least 3 weeks or so? They put her through hell. I saw how they tossed her around when they were changing her, the way they were administering the drugs with her. The minute they give her the drugs, she'd be in a coma situation. And we would question them about that, and they would say, no, we're not giving her the morphine or the Endon or the fentanyl, which is an absolute rubbish, because they were continuously doing it. Without a doubt, they weren't noting it either in order to cover their backsides. So many doctors, nurses, executives at that Gold Coast Criminal Hospital, they were all in cahoots together. They all attributed to the death of our mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. On the 7th of December, we were called into the hospital. your mother died at 5:45. Come on in and see the dead body. We get there and security's trying to stop me from going in. I was fuming. It was disgraceful. It was bad enough when they stopped us from seeing our mother when she was alive. They deprived our mother from seeing her children, from having her children close by to her when she was on her deathbed. And the only reason she was on her deathbed is because there is no doubt whatsoever they administered drugs that terminated her life deliberately. When we got there, one of the nurses who was in the room turned around and said to us, "Don't worry, I was with her when she took her last breath." What a stupid thing to say. I turned around and I said to her, "You were with her? Why didn't you do anything to save her? She wasn't dead." Her answer was, "I had strict orders from the doctors and the public guardian not to resuscitate." Now, if this isn't murder, then I must be an absolute fool. She was right there in front of her. They could have saved her, but they didn't want to save her. 2 days ago, before she died, they stopped her feed, the food that she was getting through her nose. Then we find out there and then that they even stopped her medication. They stopped caring for her. They stopped everything. Like I said, if that's not killing someone, then I must be an idiot. They did it. They deliberately got rid of our mother. I guess $10,000 is a lot of money to terminate a body. Doesn't matter whose it is. They punished my mum. They tortured our mum. She suffered so much. They always had her in this coma situation. That same week, one of the nurses there, a cruel beast of a woman, kept on saying to us, even in the room where my mum laid, that your mum's going to die today. Your mum is going to die, Therese. Your mum is going to die this week, Therese. And I'd always say, no, she's not. If she dies, it's because you people are killing her. That is the only reason. She was so determined that my mother is going to die. And we know what happened, don't we? These people all contributed to terminating mum's life. An innocent, beautiful lady who did not deserve to die. So much for our Christmas. What a horrible Christmas we're going to have. To all of you who have contributed, I honestly hope you rot in hell. And I can't wait till real justice takes its course. As for contacting the Health Ombudsman, that certainly was a total waste of time. I wasted so much of my energy and so forth in contacting all these government entities who, no doubt, they all work together to cover each other's ass. That's as polite as I can put it. You all contributed to the death of my mother. You all are covering up. You are a bunch of gutless cowards. You are not even human beings. And I can only hope that you get what you deserve in time. I want you to see my beautiful mum and dad. That's them. Look how gorgeous they are. I miss them and I love them dearly. Rest in peace, Mum, with Dad. I love you very much. And we miss you both sincerely. And for anyone out there who thinks that I will be threatened in any way or form, or I will tolerate any of your BS, don't even go there. I've got so much support behind me, and I can assure you these people are strong. Stronger than all you corrupt, disgraceful scumbags. Anyway, just keep following the story, and I need you all to also get on a website which will help you, which will open your eyes and ears, and you need to constantly share this. Go on the website, AASGAA, okay, ASGA. You need to follow that. You need to go on there, you need to support it, because you know what? You're supporting yourself, you're supporting your families. Otherwise, we're all just going to be terminated just like that. It's all about money and nothing more. They do not care about us. They really do not. Anyway, I'm sure I'll talk soon. I hope you all have a great Christmas. Thanks.